What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on gun control and on mass shootings that have been happening a lot lately in America. Both are interconnected in some way, which is the reason I'm going to touch on both. So the whole gun control thing, I have a unique perspective on this because I have been on the other side to the extreme. What I mean by that is, at one point in my life, I was heavily involved in serious crime. Serious crime. I always carried guns, always had guns. The difference between me and most others, criminals you'd call them, is that I had this very strict rule where I would never, ever victimize an innocent person. I would never bring harm or shed blood of an innocent. What I mean by innocent and civilian is someone who didn't choose to be involved in that criminal world. So if I was going to target somebody or shed someone's blood, it'd be somebody who I can look at and say, hey, guess what, motherfucker? You chose to do this shit. You chose to be a badass fucking Scarface type drug dealer. You chose this shit. And when you do so, you open yourself up to that. Likewise myself. I chose to be a badass. Shit could have happened to me and I'd have been, I had to take it. That's it. That's what it comes with. Most criminals don't give a fuck about that distinction. They will target anybody. They will victimize regular people who have nothing to do with it. Women, children, elderly. They have no fucking respect. They have no honor. They will fucking hurt you and your family. The reason I'm saying this is because we all have guns. On the streets, there's guns everywhere. Everywhere. Nobody ever gave a fuck about law. When you're living that life, you're not thinking about law. I was running around in the streets already at times where I was out on bails facing decades imprisonment. I didn't give a fuck about a gun charge. I didn't give a fuck about a gun permit application or that I was disqualified. Come on, guys. Criminals don't give a fuck about those laws. They do not respect those laws. The only thing they care about and respect is fear of being hurt. They will be hesitant to target someone if they know that 1 out of 2 people is carrying, has a firearm in the home even. They're afraid. They don't want to get fucking shot. They don't want to get hurt. I did some crazy shit and ran in crazy situations where everybody had guns. That's not for the most part. For the most part, these people are fucking bullies, the criminals. They're only going to do shit when there's really no chance of them getting hurt. They're not trying to get fucking shot. So as a deterrent, guns are an excellent means for civilians to have against crime. When it comes to cops, okay, cops are in a position where they are given power over others. Likewise with anything else in life, similar to that, there is abuse. They abuse the power. Not all of them. Some of them do. Some of these guys never had power in their whole lives. The opposite is even true. They got picked on. They were fucking victims. They have all kinds of self-esteem issues and personal issues that then manifest later when you give them a gun and a badge and tell them that they can do whatever the fuck they want. So the reason this is interconnected also is because there's a huge effort in this country to remove guns. Okay? Huge. This has been going on for a long thing. It's a political thing. It's a political agenda where they want to bring the people to a state of fear, constant fear of being hurt and being victimized and whatever, that they're willing to submit and give up their arms. Okay? The problem with that is twofold. First is that those guns in the hands of citizens are the only thing keeping us, free people, from being fucking slaves. That's the truth. That's the only thing. Again, as an example, police abuse people, all right? Police violate people's rights. They hurt people. Sometimes they even kill people. I can guarantee you that if some of these people, these cops who did shit like this, faced severe consequence, there's a couple ways you can, punish them that would matter to them. One is monetarily, okay? So, for example, to help stop this kind of stuff, if it were up to me, each police officer would be required by law to have an insurance binder, an insurance policy backing him, basically where if he fucks up and becomes a liability to the department and to the insurer or hurts someone, he will have to pay. It will hurt his pockets. Eventually he'll become uninsurable and he can't even work anymore in that field. That's an example of something that would help deter police from crossing that line. But the other, more effective, and it's going to sound crazy and I'm not promoting it, is violence. That's it. Bloodshed. Bloodshed. A couple of these cops who shoot these innocent people, let their fucking family members or themselves become victims of the same. Let a couple of these fucking people's wives or mothers or fathers get fucking snatched off the street and disappeared. Let it happen enough to the point where it's a real possibility, and I can promise you the amount of police abuse towards citizens would lessen dramatically. It's a whole different mindset when you're of the understanding that if I do this and disrespect this man and cross this line, there's a good chance I will be fucking killed. Or someone closest to me would be fucking killed. He's going to think completely different. The opposite end of the spectrum, where there is no thought process like that, is prisons and jails. Why do you think CEOs abuse the fuck out of people? They do so because they know they can't do anything. There is no consequence. There is no repercussion. They have no fucking weapons. They have nothing to do, no weapon against me that can hurt me. So I kind of went off on this one, but it's important that people understand, first, why one side wants to take guns away and why the other side wants to keep them. Okay? The ones that want to take the guns away are not doing it because they want to protect us. That's the bullshit story. They're doing it because they want unfucking limited power. They want to dominate the rest, the masses. The masses. I don't believe anyone has a right to tell another person that they can't defend themselves. I don't believe that. I don't give a fuck about law, none of that shit. I don't believe in that. Now, the reason I mentioned the mass shooting thing and how it's connected to this is because, going back to what I said earlier, their number one game plan in how to get citizens to give up rights is to put them in a state of fucking panic and fear, where they then voluntarily give those rights up. For example, after 9/11, okay, after that attack, American people willingly gave up their rights to privacy and unwarranted search. Okay? Law changed after that. Something called the NDAA Act, where basically the government is now allowed to spy on you, to monitor you, all in efforts of protecting you. Now, that piece of legislation was already written and drafted way before 9/11 even happened. And the proof of that is it was signed so quickly after the actual event that it would have been impossible for them to have put it all together. So there's a correlation there. The mass shooting things, okay, this is going to sound crazy. This is the part where a lot of you guys may disagree with me. I'm of the opinion that the majority, especially of the most recent mass shootings, are fake. They are fake. They're bullshit. Bullshit. Going back to like Sandy Hook, you know, the Orlando nightclub Pulse shooting, the recent one that just happened again in Florida. These are fucking fake, man. They're hoaxes. They're drills. They're fake. I'm not saying they're fake, that everybody there is involved in a conspiracy and is aware. The people don't know what the fuck is happening. All right? It's very difficult for people to differentiate between a drill and real time when they're not in on it. When you're not on the inside, it's hard to know the difference. They don't know. They don't know. They just panic. All right? Some of the reasons why I think they're fake are, first, because in this day and age of technology, everybody has a cell phone. All right? Everywhere I fucking look, people have these phones up and they're filming every fucking thing that's happening in life. None of these fucking things are ever caught on film. The Pulse shooting, for example, the gay nightclub in Florida. Supposedly there are over 300 people in here, yet not one person has any fucking video of this shooting actually happened. They have some video they send you of bullshit, people on the ground, people screaming, but no video of any real dead bodies, no video of any wounded, no video of any fucking gunmen actually shooting. All right? The same thing could be said about this Las Vegas shooting recently. These things are fucking hoaxes, guys. You gotta look further into them. It's not realistic, and it's only believable to people who have never been in fucking combat under those kinds of duress circumstance. All right? What I mean by that is I've seen fucking bloodshed. I know how the fuck civilians react to blood, to violence. I know how they react. For that reason, when I see people on TV being interviewed who claim to have just been part of a mass shooting, all right, oftentimes they're saying my friends and family just got fucking blown away and massacred in front of me. I just witnessed a fucking massacre. And yet, they're so calm and composed that they're able to give interviews right after. And on top of all that, in those interviews, most of them are talking about gun control. Do you think that if I just witnessed my friend or family be fucking murdered, I would be giving a fuck about gun control and talking about that? Do you think I'd be able to give interviews in a composed manner? That's bullshit. Listen, I lost my fucking dog and I couldn't fucking, I was crying about the shit. I couldn't have conversations about it for days after. That's for one of my pets. And I'm a tough motherfucker, way tougher than a regular person out there. And you think these fucking people are being honest in what they witnessed? It's bullshit, guys. Come on. It's fucking bullshit. It's all a ploy to take your guns. It's all fake. It's all fake. Ask yourself why you don't see any real footage. You can see clearly that there does exist real violence in the world. All right? There are examples of that. You can see some news stations will show war happening in the Middle East, for example, where people are actually being killed. You see them fucking dead on the street. You see the fucking people crying around them, picking up these fucking mutilated bodies. You don't see that shit ever in these mass shootings here. All you see is a bunch of people screaming and a bunch of commotion, a bunch of cop cars and ambulances. You see lights. You see one piece of footage looped over and over and over on every fucking news channel. Come on, man. Just give thought to it, guys. Most of what you see on television is fake. Most of it, including all of the news. It's fake. These people are fucking actors. This is a script, all right? It's a control mechanism. Everything is, including the internet. It's now becoming that. It's all censored. It's all regulated. It's all controlled, and not in the way you think. Not in the way you think, but in a way to manipulate the masses and basically keep them very dumbed down and in a position where they believe anything. You fucking show them anything on television and boom, yeah, we believe it. We believe it. I don't think like that. I don't believe that something is true just because it's told to me. I hear this news story, again, because I just mentioned it. The guy runs into this nightclub. One guy. There's over 300 people in this fucking nightclub, okay? With multiple rooms. It's a big spot. One guy gets in, first of all, with a machine gun, supposedly, gets past security. Every fucking club I've been to, I've been in clubs in Miami. I've been in clubs in New York and LA. How the fuck are you getting a machine gun in? First of all, not happening. Second of all these people in there, nobody filmed it, as I mentioned before. Another point is, if you know you're in the line of fire and you see someone, an actual shooter, taking people down, this and that, you're telling me from all these fucking 300 people, none of them could stop this fucking guy? Nobody does anything? Not only that, but the news took it a step further in its ridiculousness. They said that the guy was actually posting shit on Twitter while he's in this, during the shooting. Not only that, he was on the phone with a fucking news reporter. On top of that, he had to stop and fucking reload many times. Now in all this time, all these 300 people, 300 plus people, nobody does shit? Nobody fucking does anything? Come on. It's bullshit, guys. It's fake. It's fake. It's fucking fake. And I don't mean to go off on a tantrum like this about this one part, this fake shit, but it's so important that you guys understand the motivation behind this. There is something at play behind all of this, and it all goes back to the whole point of the video. Gun control. They want to take guns from citizens. They want to take guns from everybody so they can fucking control you. So you have no more voice. So we don't have to give a fuck anymore what you think, feel, or say, or want. Because we have all the fucking guns. And trust me when I tell you, the day that this country ever relinquishes its guns and gives up on that Second Amendment is the day we become fucking slaves. We are already slaves to some degree, but in that moment, it will be finalized. I will never be for taking guns away from people who are not criminals, especially people who are regular, upstanding citizens who have the right to protect themselves. I would never, ever suggest that we should limit the amount of guns that those people have. Ever. Nor would I ever support any position that we should limit the type of firearms that they have. Because remember, guys, the reason this whole Second Amendment was put in place to begin with was not for citizens to protect themselves from criminals. I'm sure that had a little to do with it, but much more so, it was for the citizens to have a voice and an ability to stand up to their own fucking government should that government become tyrannical. Should that government become so fucking corrupt, we need to have the weapons to stand our ground against them. Of course they want to take away fucking machine guns. Of course they want to take away any serious firepower. That's the first step in taking everything away. Let's limit them down to fucking handguns only. And they want to have a fucking arsenal. They want to have everything. Why? It's not to fight the criminals, guys. It's for fucking control of everybody. And I'll wrap this up with something that may be even more controversial than the other shit I already said. Me personally, okay? I have lived a crazy life. I am more fearful of fucking cops than any criminal. Ever. And I've been around fucking murderers all over the world. I have more fear of a cop. Because that cop is running around thinking no repercussion. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I got this fucking army in blue that's going to back me up and this code of silence where they're never going to fucking go against me. So they literally have an army behind them. And they know that they can take advantage of people. The criminal, for the most part, is not going to be thinking about that about me. He's not. So I have more fear of the cops, guys. In this day and age, my advice, which has always been since I was little, I don't call cops. We, my people, we don't call cops. Don't call cops. We handle our own fucking business. Because in calling those cops, you open yourself up to a whole fucking can of worms now. You're inviting them in. And in my experience, it's not something that you guys want to do. Unless it's absolutely necessary. I understand everybody's not built like me. And I understand not all cops are bad. But I think it's important that you guys hear my perspective and what I think. So when it comes to the gun control things, guys, the gun control thing, think about it. Think realistically. What is the real reason? And when you see these fucking mass shootings on television, look at these people who are being interviewed, who are speaking about it, who supposedly were involved inside there as a victim. And look at their faces and ask yourself, is this person really telling the truth? This little fucking rich young white boy who's been sheltered his whole life just witnessed this fucking horror and he's so well composed? Not realistic, guys. I seen it. It's not like that. It's very ugly. All right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it some thought and I'll talk to you next time.